If you've been interested in the jelly plate craze, but you haven't pulled the trigger on getting an actual jelly plate, try this technique first to see if you like it. Every technique video is narrated live while I'm doing the technique, so you're getting a real-time view of how the whole process works. Pull out the supplies I'm using and create right along with me, pausing as you need. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. I love this faux jelly plate technique because it uses stuff that you probably already have before you need to invest in a jelly plate. When you decide to invest in the jelly plate, you'll see that the technique is even more fun and you'll get even better results, but this actually works quite well. So I've got a silicone mat here. This is just a mat that I use in my craft room for various different techniques. And I've got a whole bunch of different inks and paints. I've got distress paint, I've got acrylic paint, I've got distress spray stains, all sorts of different things that we can use to create our prints. And then I also have some things that we're going to use to create texture. And I've got all sorts of different papers. So you can use plain white cardstock. This is 80-pound white cardstock. You can use mixed media paper. You can use cotton resume paper. You can even use pages from your phone book, junk mail, all sorts of things, right? So I'm going to start off with my plate here. And I'm actually going to start off with some distress paint. Now, distress paint, when it dries, is permanent, but because it's on a silicone mat, it actually cleans up. And my rollerball brayer here is also silicone, so it's going to clean up off of this without any problem. So I'm going to start by creating a nice little layer here. And on some of these, I want to just create a really cool background. Now, if you start with too much paint, and this is like just a little bit too much, I've got this piece on the side here that I'm just going to brayer off. And that's going to help keep this a little more under control. And it's going to create a really cool pattern over on the side here too. All right, so I've got this ready to go. I'm going to take a piece of my paper here, and I'm just going to do a plain pull with just the color, just so you can kind of see what this looks like. All right, so this is how the process works. You're just going to put down paint and you're going to lift it up. It's when you start putting things on it that makes it look even more cool. So right now it's picking up the texture of the paper, and you really just kind of have this orange color going on here, and that's about it. So I've got all of this extra on here, and there's things that I can start doing to create different patterns and textures. So I have a stencil, and I'm going to pop that stencil down on here. And I'm going to take some yellow acrylic paint. And I'm going to use my brayer again and brayer that right over my stencil. All right, I'm going to take a new piece of cardstock. This is the white cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and pull a print. Now I've left my stencil down, so I want to kind of rub around here so I can get all those little nooks and crannies in there and make sure that my edges go down. At least this time. I'm going to want to get as much as I can on this first print, and then I can start pulling up from edges later. All right. So there we go. This is really, really cool looking. Look at all those cool thin lines from the stencil. All sorts of really neat stuff going on here. This is a great print just by itself already. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. And there's paint on here that I may or may not be able to get off. So I'm going to put it on my scrap here, and I'm going to just kind of brayer over it. And I get just like a little bit of texture, nothing really major. All right, so I could clean this off, but I'm going to just keep going. So we've got this going here. I'm going to grab a third piece. Let's do a piece of newsprint here. I'm going to grab this while it's still wet. So you can grab pattern paper, you can do all sorts of things. So look at, I'm getting a really cool print off of this. And now is when I'm going to start like pulling up just the remnants that I have going on here until it won't pull up anymore. So this is kind of a leftovers sheet at the moment, but it's going to be really, really cool. Check that out. Lots of cool textures and patterns already going on here. Okay, so this is fairly dry at the moment. I can go ahead and add in some more color. I can go back to my orange. I can go for a different color. This may start to bleed in here, so I don't want to brayer it too much. So I put a few extra dots around the area, and I'm going to take my brayer. I may want to just wipe it off a little bit. Get it just a little more clean. See how easy that comes off, even though that was that distress paint and it was dry on here, it came right off. So I'm going to lightly go over my brayer, and I don't want to spread it too much because I don't want it to blend in with the orange. I want it to stay this nice bright blue. All right, so again, I can wipe off my brayer on my scrap piece here. All right, now there's some other cool things I can do. I can take some stamps. I've got this flower stamp here and just press it. And I'm going to get the impression here, but I've also got the impression here. So I'm going to stamp that off on my paper on the side. And look, I got a flower impression there. So we'll do that a couple times. This is the best stamping. Like I'm not even putting it on a block. I don't even care if I get the whole flower. All right, so I've got some cool flower impressions on here now, which is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and take my final piece of clean paper to start with and pull this up and see what we get. So there we go. It pulled up a little bit of the orange, but it also pulled up those flower impressions. And this looks really cool. This one definitely needs some more to it. So we can add more. Let's go for some interesting texture here. I've got these dies. I'm just going to kind of space them out on here. All right, I'm going to use a distress spray stain. So this is going to react with our paints that are already down here. It's going to change it into kind of a green color. All right, there's no brayering or anything that needs to go on here, but I do want to start adding this to this particular piece. So instead of going over the whole thing, I'm going to just selectively press down and pull up and start getting some different things. You can see I got a little bit of the bottle cap imagery there because it had the spray on top of it. So there, I got a little bit of a mushed version of that. There's some little lines there. It's adding some more interest to this particular sheet. All right, but now I can pull these guys off. I'll just set them off to the side. And this looks like it's prime for another pull. So let's do another piece of paper here. Now you can tell that this was a spray stain because it came right through on this thin paper. But look at that cool pattern that I started to get there. All right, so this needs to dry for a little bit because that spray stain is really, really wet. And we will get this to dry. So let's just wait a second or two and we will come back when some of these sheets are dry. All right, so some of my sheets have had a chance to dry and I can continue on with a little bit more creativity. A lot of these can stay just the way that they are if I want them to, but it's always fun to stretch your creativity and see what else you can make. So I'm adding some more of that awesome blue acrylic. So it's like an aqua blue, and I'm going to put my stencil right back in here. And I'm going to go for high contrast. So remember this orange piece that we started with? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this right over the top. And when I press down in here, you get a really, really cool results. Really funky patterns, all sorts of neat things going on here. I've got another press though that can happen. So let's get off my brayer here while I'm thinking about it. And look at what we've got here. So I've got another texture pattern is very similar to the one that I've got on here. So let's do some other corners and grab some of this goodness. Now the difference between using the silicone mat versus using a gel plate is that you see how the paint is not all pulling up from the mat. When you use a gel plate, you're going to get more of this pulling off of the gel plate and onto your paper, and it's going to create more dramatic effect. However, you can create some really, really cool looks with just your silicone mat and some supplies that you already have on hand. Once you get addicted, you can go ahead and get yourself a gel plate and take your results even further. I hope you enjoyed this technique and you add it into your toolbox sometime soon. When you give it a try, share it out on Instagram and tag me at Nicole Creates. I always love to see what your creative mind is thinking. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And until next time, happy crafting.